When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May, which it is right now. Are you ready? You ready? I guess you'd say what can make me feel this way. My guy, your girl. Hey!
That's nice. That's a nice one.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So then let me ask you. So all right, guys, welcome once again to LapoteeTV, bringing stories to light as well as bringing African personalities that are based here in Germany. Hamburg to precise is what we do. And today, once again, I'm here with one lady that, if you are somebody that you come to Hamburg, or you do visit Hamburg, and you've been on the Reeperbahn and you don't know her, and you are a lot of jazz music and you don't know her, then I don't know where you've been. She goes by no other person but Adi Wolf. Adi, it's nice to have you on LapoteeTV.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me.
You know, it's interesting, like I put it. I remember the first time I saw you. I mean, my days when I used to come to the Reeperbahn a lot, I think I was there and then I saw this place. They were having this live band. I'm like, okay, let me just step in. And then I saw you. I'm like, who is this black, beautiful black girl with this huge voice, you know? Because you know, it's one thing, it's not very common to see an African person performing to a white audience, especially here in Germany, Hamburg, to be precise. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when I saw, I was actually happy, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But I never knew there would come a day that we're going to have something to do. So when I started with this whole interview thing, and lo and behold, today we are here. So for someone who is watching, who is Adi Wolf? I have said what I'll say, but who is Adi Wolf?
Who is Adi Wolf?
Yes.
So I'm originally from Bermuda,
Oh, okay.
little tiny island in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm someone who always knew I wanted to be on stage. Just something in me was like, I want to share what I have with other people. I mean, for all I know, I could have been wrong. There are quite a few people who want to share things with other people, and you're like, no, keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. Yeah.
But I did start singing at a very young age, maybe 6.
6. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, in Bermuda we have a lot of churches.
Oh, okay.
We also have a lot of sinners, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I was just sitting in church singing this little light of mine one day, and I think I liked it how people were responding to me, and you know, you just get that bug like, ooh, I want that some more. And then I just knew, I think I want to do that.
You know, it's interesting when you say in Bermuda, you guys have a lot of churches. And
A lot of churches.
Everywhere you find black people, there is always a lot of churches. What do you think is the connection with that?
I think what it is with churches is communion and music. And something greater than ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So if it just stayed to that, it would be great. But it is always a pull of power. My uncle is a bishop in the church.
Okay.
And I can see how if he said the sky was purple, everyone would believe
that
it.
the sky is purple.
And I'm like, whoa, you know, what is that? But, you know, you want to go to church because you want to feel like community. I really do think that's
sense of belonging.
A sense of belonging, a sense of you're not alone. And then, of course, the great music that just stirs your soul. And then, okay, you listen to someone giving you some life lessons. But for me, I stopped going to church when those life lessons didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. So I'm like, no, that's not for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I can have that same conversation sitting on a beach in Bermuda, talking to someone who's like, I mean, I can be talking to a real person like I'm talking to you. Or, you know, I'm just talking in my mind and some great revelations come. Revelations, not just revelations in the Bible, in church. So for me, that wasn't for me. But we do have a lot of churches and a lot of people that are sad because they're listening to someone saying, you know, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you don't give all your money, you're going to hell. You know, the Lord ain't going to like you. You know, you can't do this to your brother. You can't do this to your sister. But then there's a whole bunch of people like committing crimes and doing things. It's like, well,
I did not go in church and saying all this, and that's a conversation for another day.
That's another time. Yes,
now, this is what I want to do. Coming from Bermuda, like you said, and you singing, what was the process like before you found yourself now singing it almost, I want to say, it's like you sang in almost all the clubs in Reeperbahn so far, if you ask me. I mean, and all the pubs.
Well, Cowboy in Indiana and a few others. But now mainly I'm singing, yes, in Cotton Club. I sang in Birdland. On Reeperbahn in the Tina Turner musical. I played the grandmother, the original grandmother, first cast. And then Mojo clubs. And how did I come from tiny Bermuda to that?
Yeah, walk us through the round, because it's not very common, like I said, to have a black person singing to a lot of white audience. Here in Hamburg, so far as I'm concerned, I know. How were you able to get to that?
Well, I guess it's the same process that I've had all along. So I had a moment in Bermuda. And this, I think, was the impetus for me coming, leaving that little tiny fishbowl. So there was a company from New York who came to Bermuda, and they wanted to put on a big show.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to use locals.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, maybe. You had to go for an audition. So
At what age?
I think I was like... Then I was in my 20s.
20s, oh. Okay.
Yeah, I had been performing in Bermuda.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I was known as a singer and actress in Bermuda.
Oh, okay.
And you'd think, oh, wow, okay, I've made it.
Oh, okay.
But then here comes this company from New York.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, ooh, I wonder if I can make it there. And I auditioned and I did get in.
Oh, okay.
And we were putting on a show. And the first night of the show, I got up from stage to sing. And I was singing with amazing performers who had been in musicals in the States, you know. And I think I felt, who am I to be on this stage singing with them? And I felt that when I went to sing, I didn't. And it felt a long time that I was just standing there. And I have asked other people, and they said, no, nothing happened. But it was just a moment where everything stopped and said, you're not as big as you think you are. You need to leave and find out. And in this moment, I decided after that show, I was going to leave Bermuda.
Oh, okay. Can you remember that song you sang at the audition? Can you give us a line?
Hey, you can reach me by railway. You can reach me by trailway. You know the song, yeah?
So I don't know
Get
that song.
Here, Lolita Adams.
Oh, okay.
And I sang that and I got that. So, yeah, and I left Bermuda for the first time. Took my daughter.
Okay.
And I went to university in London. And, I started a degree in performing arts at Middlesex University. And about a week in, my music lecturer came to me and said, what are you doing here? What do you mean? You don't need to learn anything. You should be out performing.
Okay.
And so at this point I went, oh, maybe I didn't need to leave Bermuda to find out how good I was, but I did. And from there, he said, do you want to start a band with me? And I said, okay, why not?
So the interesting thing is you've been singing right from childhood.
Yes.
But you felt like that's not enough. You decided to take the whole music thing to another level by studying music in school, right?
Yeah, studying performing arts, Because sometimes you don't know. You're a little fish in a little pond, and you think, hey, I had to take myself to a bigger pond.
The land of the blind.
Right. And so we started a band together, and I write music, and we were rehearsing my music and everything. He put a whole band together around me. And at our, I would say, second or third performance, we got offered a record deal.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Singing.
I saw one of your interviews or a podcast you had online where you were talking about you were in the band and at a point you left them behind. Is it the same band we were talking about?
Yeah, this is a true story. It was a mistake I made. I was with them, so we got a record deal. And before we got the record deal, before we went out to play, we'd spent a year or so rehearsing, with these guys. We got offered the deal. And then we were with the record company for about 6 months. And then they came to me and said, Addie, we only want you. You write the songs. You're the front woman. We don't need the band. And I naively said, okay. And I left my band.
You've constantly, like I said that before, that it was a mistake you made. How long did it take before you come to that realizing that it was a mistake? And did you do anything to rectify it?
I think a couple of months in, after I started working with some amazing producers, the record company, they were like, hey, work with Feel Good from Level 42. I worked with a producer from Old Saints, great stuff, but my heart was sad. And I was like, wow, I just dumped those guys after they were really there for me. And I think I stopped writing music. I stopped being myself. And then the record company is like, oh, well, you're not, we're going to drop you. And I was fine.
So the record company loved it more, the fact that you were singing other people's songs, but they didn't like the fact that you were writing your songs? Or?
No, they loved that I was singing my songs, but once I left, I felt so guilty. I didn't write any new songs.
Okay.
And they're like, well, if you're not going to, produce, if you're not going to be the person that we signed you, then we're going to drop you. But I was okay with that because I felt, how can you just drop somebody like that? And how I've rectified it is, I think carefully when someone comes with something shiny and wanting to run immediately after it. So, and anyway, so then I was in London and I played a lot of clubs in London and my husband decided he wanted to come back home to Germany.
Anybody who hears you for the first time sings can say, she's a musician, she's an artist. This is not somebody who is trying to, learn how to sing or put herself there. And I want to ask myself, do you feel like you've gotten to the place that you need to be in terms of music? Because personally, I feel like if I want to take Hamburg to say, I feel like there's a lot of Black people with the talent who are pushing, and they don't get to the peak of where they're supposed to be. Is that how you feel as a person?
I believe that I'm here to sing.
Okay.
Just me on this earth. I believe that I'm here to share this music that's inside of me. Have I gotten to that point where I'm like, yes, I've done it? No. I feel that in order for me to get there first, I had to, first of all, show, look, I can sing. And then, oh, look, I've got some music I like. And so we're grifting. I'm grifting. You know that word? I'm just like going around like a salesman. Look what I got. Look what I got. I would like to get to the point where, oh, here's my concerts and here's my music. Now we can get about sharing this message I have inside. So right now I'm still at this point where it's like, I can sing and look, I want to entertain you. And I throw in a couple of my originals every once in a while. But I'm not to that place where I can do full concerts with just my music. This is my dream. This is what I want.
You've come far in this industry, like I said, and looking at, besides just from the look, somebody looking, you can tell you are not in your middle age.
Yes.
So do you think you still have that enough time to go to get to that place you're talking about?
Yes, even if I'm 90.
Oh, okay. You live to see a 90.
I will. I will live to 124. I will do a concert of Addie Wolf music, and then after I go lie down and okay, I'm good. No, I think it's never too late. It's coming though. I can feel it. It's coming.
I think there's this thing with us as human beings, we always put a time limit on ourselves, and that is why I'm asking it.
Not me.
Like I'm putting it, everybody thinks that by the time you clock certain there are certain things that you're not supposed to do it anymore, even if the passion is there. But that's why I ask you, from the society, the way society see things, someone's okay. People retire at the age of 65, 60, 65, whatever they are. I'm like, okay, so if she's doing music and if she's ever going to make it big in the music industry, it should have been her 30s or 40s. Now she's almost in it. That's why
I actually had this conversation 2 weeks ago. There's a musician I'm working with and he's like, Addie, you need to hurry up. You're not so young anymore. You need to hurry up and get this album done. And I'm like, langsam.
Relax.
I have trust. I will not leave this earth until my music is out there. I'm not concerned. You gotta have trust. Like, that whole story of the caterpillar and the butterfly. If the caterpillar thinks, oh no, I've been in this mess for a while, what am I gonna do? No, you persevere.
Why do you think you've not gotten to where you need to be yet in the terms of the music industry? Because like I said, for anybody who's seen you sing on stage, like this is a star singing, and do you think that's got anything to do with race?
No, unfortunately, it had to do with me.
Oh, okay.
I think I didn't, I knew I could sing, but I'm like, I didn't realize deep inside that I was good enough.
Oh, okay.
That has to do with race.
Okay.
100%. I, as a Black woman walking around, a lot of times I felt I wasn't good enough. And that comes from me, but also what society tells me, you're not good enough. You know, you're, and I'm dark skinned. And I come from an island of people that are much lighter skinned, and there's a lot of colorism and, oh, you know, who wants to see you? You're so dark. So inside you internalize that, oh, I'm not good enough. I think I am, but oh, I don't think I am. And, you know, you go through all of that process of trying to find out if you're good enough. And it's only now that I'm realizing I'm good enough. And now it's like, it's warp speed. I'm moving much quicker now because I realize I'm good enough and it doesn't matter what anyone else says. I have a message to deliver. Please let me be the postman. Let me deliver this message. It doesn't matter if I'm dark skin or light skin or if I don't have blonde hair or if I, you know, no, it doesn't matter. I'm here to deliver this message. And I had to figure that out. And I just discovered recently, oh, wait, it's me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
It's good you really come to this point whereby this is how you see things. Because I could remember, like I said, I watched a couple of things you've done online and somewhere you sharing about the fact that you've been an orphan and all that. And do you think this all of this thing piled up together to hold you back? And why did it took this long? Someone will say you are in your 50s, like I said, and you have a family and all that. And there was none of this thing gave you that morale to feel like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the support wasn't there. Yeah, I'm an orphan. You know, I never had parents at all. My mother died when I was 1, and she never told anybody who my father was, unfortunately. So I didn't know. And yeah, I've had some things that happened to me that made me feel that I didn't deserve. I wasn't worthy to be on stage. And you have to unwind all of that. And it has taken me 58 years to unwind all of that and go right back to the beginning and go, wait, actually, I was always good enough. And when you don't have someone saying you're good enough, you know, my first experience of singing in primary school, I was 11 years old, and my music teacher asked the class to sing. And I got up and I sang. I was very excited. I can sing.
Okay.
I sang, and then he says, oh, all right, Mahalia. Now, Mahalia Jackson is a well-known Black singer.
Oh, okay.
And the whole class laughed. Now, I didn't sing again for the next 10 years.
Because if they could laugh, because when Mahalia was singing, how much more?
I did not sing anymore. I was so devastated because I thought they were laughing at me. And that story is full circle. 20 years later, I ran into that music teacher and he was about to help with the musical I was in. And I got a chance to tell him, I said, you really broke my spirit that day. And he's like, what do you mean? No, I was giving you a compliment. I was telling you. And I said, yeah, but as an 11-year-old, you know, you didn't stop the kids from laughing. He didn't say, no, don't laugh. He just laughed with them. So I spent years thinking, if I get up on stage, people are going to laugh at me. See?
Yeah.
So you have to come to a wise enough place within yourself to say, okay, that was then, keep going. So that's why it has taken me this long.
It's interesting. So here's the thing. I feel like there's a lot that you need to accomplish as a person. And now you have a family.
Yes.
I know you have a daughter that is also involved in the same, entertainment industry.
Yeah, she is.
And I can tell she's really doing good by most of the things I've seen online. How do you feel like having a daughter try to get into the stage or the point at which you need to get to your career and you're not there yet?
Oh my God, that's fine. She, you know, it's about supporting, not just with my daughter, but I do like to support any woman who's doing this. And she's also been through similar setbacks as myself, and she's not my color. She's actually quite light.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, it's just being a woman and being a Black person around on a set that is full of white people and they don't know how to do makeup or they don't know how to not pat your hair, you know, and you feel like, wow, am I good enough to be in this? And I fly, my daughter, fly. And if anything, fly for me. Fly for you, fly for me. I'm right there too. And there are moments where she's like, mommy, go for it. You know, it's a tag team. We support each other.
You feel like your experience that you had, the things that draw you back and stuff like that, you learn from it, and probably that was the things that, you point her to help her.
I pass it on to her. Yeah. Oh, I have 3 kids, and I have my daughter and I have 2 sons, and I tell them the same thing. Fly. There's nothing you can't do. Nothing. Go for it. And I also think that I show my daughter that she can get there because I continue.
You didn't give up.
Yeah, she sees me. And, no, I wasn't the mom who was at the I can't cook. I'm sorry. I'm not the best cook.
It's interesting. This is something that most Black women don't like to admit to. The fact
I'm a Black woman. I am. I've got the booty. I've got everything. But I'm not a great cook.
Okay. But you're a great singer.
I'm a great singer. I'm a great artist. I paint. I'm a great writer. And I'm a great supporter. She didn't see me at the kitchen and preparing her meals. No. I taught her, look, be self-reliant, get yourself ready, get to school, and get on with life, because I felt that's more important. And I taught that to all my kids.
You not being able to cook like that, do you think it is something that, as a Black woman, did you ever feel regret or feel bad for not being able to cook? Because, coming from Africa, as Black people, we always thought women are always supposed to, this is something a woman must know. Did you ever feel like it was something?
Okay, the reason why I don't cook, I believe, is, I had some foster parents. This couple that took me in, and that woman would beat me every time I got something wrong. If I put beans on and I didn't cook them right, I'm going to get a beating. So I think it's some sort of psychological thing that when I go towards a stove, it's like, if I do this wrong. I mean, I've outgrown that now. So I never really learned the basics. I didn't have a mother to watch, or grandmother and aunts around the kitchen making pie and you're there. I didn't have that. I had, you need to survive or you're going to be killed. So I never bothered about the cooking. And the singing and the music and the art is in me. Cooking's not in me. It's a survival thing. And for me, that wasn't my survival. No.
Adi, honestly, anytime I look at you, I feel like you're somebody who really been through a lot. Even when you don't vocalize it, sometimes. Yeah. Some people can tell. And I want to ask you, did you ever, throughout all this time, ever took the time to go for a therapy session? Because this is something that people normally say, Black people in therapy, they don't go together. Have you ever been on a therapy session? Or you felt like you needed it?
Like the cooking, I'm a Black woman that loves therapy. Oh, okay. I'm totally different than the majority. I recognized at some point I needed help. One time I was in my early 20s. My daughter was maybe 2. I was driving her to nursery and I just wanted to cry. I could not stop crying. And in this moment, I realized I had blocked out something that happened to me. And I dropped off at nursery and I drove straight to a therapy area where I knew. And I just walked in. I said, can you help me? And that was the first time I went to therapy, and it was very helpful. So whenever, I think it's an ongoing thing throughout life. We always need something. So when I feel like, I'm not coping with life very well, let me go do a session. I think it is absolutely helpful to have someone who does not know you, but who's willing to sit there and listen and maybe have some insight on how you can live your life better. I think it is mandatory for every human being. And whoever started this craziness, probably somebody, I'm sorry, maybe somebody in a church who said, just rely on God, go to church. But God is everywhere. And, I also believe that God, or I'm saying God in this sense because we're talking about church, can talk through a therapist and help you.
I believe as Black people, the thing is, most of the time we receive therapy. Yeah. It is the form in which we receive it. Because take, for instance, if you're an African or a Black person, you go to church. Most of the times people want to confide in their pastors, talking to them. And I believe that is also a form of therapy. Yeah, it's just only that maybe that pastor was never known to be somebody who studied something that's got to do with therapy. But I feel like our therapy comes in different forms. Absolutely. And even through the things that we go through. Yeah. That makes it stronger. That's why I feel like we don't go for therapy sessions. Yeah, but we must. Because, the therapist knows you. He knows you. If you go to church in Bermuda, you've got 60,000 people on that island. It's not a lot of people.
that minister probably knows you, knows your aunt, knows your uncle, knows everything. When you go to him and say, hey, I'm feeling a little bit weird, they're going to go, oh, it's probably just your mom, she blah, 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 blah. And they're not really helping you from an objective point of view.
So you believe therapy session is better with somebody you don't know, like someone who knows?
Yes, because then, and I think both. Of course, go talk to your pastor if you think he may have something or she may have something that's valuable to you, but go to somebody who doesn't know you, because then you get a fresh point of view, a fresh point of view. And you may hear something you never heard before, and that's the key that turns things for you. You must. It's not about even being Black. I mean, come on. We need communion. Absolutely. It takes a village. But even, I never grew up in Africa, but there are shamans, there are healers, there are, wise people that is very much like therapy. You go, you talk with them, and they may have other methods, but it's needed.
It's needed. Adi, every musician has always got a story to tell, or people always tell the story through their music. What has been your message that you always want to tell through your music? That
you're good enough, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that we're all here. This song, Black Mary I wrote, or I guess I could pick any one of my songs. Sitting by the sea, chug-a-lug a little sea air, laying on the sand, watching, grains in my black hair, smacking on the oil, rubbing joy everywhere. Everything is going to be all right.
Okay.
It's all going to work out. Keep going. And I think that sort of goes through it's a theme that runs through my songs. We're all going to be okay. Keep going, no matter what. And I like my music because I think it's, you're listening to it and you're like, oh, I like this song. Oh, this is cool. And then you're like, wait, did she just say it doesn't matter if you're Black or white or purple or green? It's all about love. Oh, she said that. And so I'm hoping that they get a little seed, and even though they're enjoying the music. That's my goal.
I remember when you said something about when you were with some record label and you were writing songs, and at that point then you stopped writing, and because of the incident that happened. So I want to find out. And looking at that's some couple of more than a decade, I think, or 20 years we're talking about.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Looking at the kind of songs you used to write by then, looking at how the music scene is going, do you still feel like your kind of music is something that is appealing to the generation of now?
Yes. It's a gift I have. I've written songs that were like 30 years ago, and I've introduced them to my band, and I'm like, I wrote that a long time ago. And they're like, what? It's so relevant. I think good music is relevant.
There's one thing for music to be relevant, and it's one thing for music to be appealing, to be selling.
Yeah.
So then I ask you, and these days, sometimes one of the ways for us to know how good something is doing that when you have it on platforms.
Yes.
And people are streaming.
Yeah.
The more people that listen to the song, that's how we judge.
Yeah.
I won't say it's a good song and say that it's really making waves.
If it's for you or not,
yes. What is your number of people that streams your songs that you have online?
Well, this is interesting. Because a lot of my music isn't, it's not on streaming platforms per se. It's going soon. So we're working on it. I'm working on releasing some more songs. But when people have heard an original song from me at a club or something, and someone's videotaped it and put it on, oh my God, it's just replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed. And I thought, oh, this is good. Or Spotify. I do have stuff on, not Spotify. SoundCloud.
And we have a number like...
Yeah, on SoundCloud I do have some songs, and there's a couple of thousand for now.
A couple of thousand.
Yeah, more than a couple of thousand, but I need it to be in the millions, of course.
You need the millions.
But what's interesting and typical life, there's a video on YouTube. I won't say what it is. You'll probably find it. Okay. But that video has, I think, maybe 6 million views or something.
Views, okay.
And it's like my worst day of my life. I was just singing and someone was recording and he put the video on YouTube and holy cow. It's just,
I was having a conversation with one of my crew, and they say something that it looks like when it comes to music, your kind of music and the people who listen to your kind of music are not the kind of people you find online. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, until they hear. So, like, I just did a concert at the Cotton Club, and I debuted a new song I have, and everyone just went crazy. And that crowd, they were like in their 18 up to maybe 40 something. So it was a wide range, and it was appealing to all of them. And then we were like, whoa, they're really going to like that song. And then I tried it in another venue. Same thing happened.
Same thing happened.
Yeah. And so now we're going to try to release the song called FLG. And it's about, so I also wrote this song called Heaven's on Its Way that was written 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it was cool then. And I played it with my band, with the record deal and everything. And now it's been re-recorded by a more modern band.
Oh, okay.
And it's still hitting. I think it's how it's produced that will appeal. And that's why I'm like, I need to get this album out now with my songs in an appealing way that it appeals to everybody. Everybody will love it. Yeah.
Adi, even though, like I keep asking, with the way you sing, I mean, somebody might definitely say that you should be compared to people in Hollywood and that kind of a thing. And you said you're still trying to get there.
Yeah.
I believe many people, many Black people here singing in Hamburg, to be precise, would like to find themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's in a lot of clubs, pop singing the way you are. What does it take for someone to get to where you are?
I think you need to have the right timing. And that right person that comes up and says, yeah, we're going to produce you and let's get this song on the radio, and then it hits off. And timing. I recorded one of my original songs is in a movie that's coming out this year. And I'm in the movie singing it, which is great.
Okay. We want to know what's the title?
It's Make Me Feel You.
Make Me Feel You. Is it going to be
No,
on
that's
Netflix?
the movie. My song's called Heaven's on Its Way.
Oh, okay. Is the movie going to be on Netflix? Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's coming out. Timing.
Look out.
Timing. And once that comes out, it'll roll.
Yeah.
I was also on Netflix, and it's a series called Crooks.
Crooks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in episode 3, the person you hear singing this song, Nina Simone's song, I Put a Spell on You.
Okay.
Is me.
Oh, okay.
And at the end, when the credits go up, you see, oh, Addie Wolf. And that just came out last year.
Oh, okay.
Timing. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So what I mean,
it'll work. It'll work.
It's never too late. As a person, you're never supposed to give up on yourself.
Never.
I mean, like you are in your 50s, like I said, you've not given up on the dream, and now you find your song on Netflix, in a movie, and all that thing.
It's coming. It'll be there.
There is one thing that you keep saying that your whole idea is trying to uplift Black women and all that thing. Sometimes a person's greatness is not measured by sometimes how far they come back, whose hand have they held. You've been in the music industry for long. Probably more than 30 years, 3 decades, 4 decades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who can you say for a fact that you've held somebody's hand to pass on whatever you have to, aside your daughter that I know she's doing well?
Well, I used to have quite a few singing groups.
Oh, okay.
And, I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to get a bunch of people together and help them sing? And I think I helped those people a lot, not just women, with my singing groups. And I've just started a new one.
Okay.
Where I'm having singers. I started it because there are a lot of singers who'll come and watch me and hear me, and they'll say, do you do vocal lessons? And I used to, but after, okay, you need a lesson. And when they come, the first thing they say is, can you teach me to sing like you?
Oh, okay.
And I say, no, nobody can do that.
Oh, okay.
But I can teach you to be the best singer you can be. So I started this group of people that I believe I'll pass on my knowledge and my spirit. And more important than anything, than the ability to sing and to have a message, is the ability to connect. And I believe that I've helped people connect. You need to connect with an audience. There are a lot of singers who will get up and I'm like, whoa, the audience is there. What's happening?
It's all about connecting with the audience.
Yeah, you got to connect. Face the audience. And I've helped quite a few people understand it's not just about having a big voice. Yes, I have a big voice, but I can also sing quietly. It's not about that. It's about connecting. Connecting to the music and giving it out to the audience. So I'm really proud of that. Helping them to realize why are you on that stage in the first place? Connect.
What does it take for someone to be on stage? Do you have a backing vocalist sometimes? Or?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've used quite a few backing vocalists. And, you know, some of them have gone on to do their own thing. Great. So that's helped. But for me, the best backing vocalists are people who just want to be on stage, want to enjoy the music and add to it. Not take over.
Oh, okay.
I can never be a backing singer. I cannot.
Oh, okay.
I know that I'm going to want to come out from the back at some point. But there are people that are quite happy to just be in the back. There are some musicians who just want to play the guitar. They don't need to be lead or keyboardist. And I have some great backing singers. You know, Yana, you're a great backing singer.
Yana, you have to be here so we can have a conversation.
She just gets on. She learns her stuff. She says, hey, Addie, I can add this. Yeah, let's hear it. Go for it.
Yes.
And she stays there and she helps me. I cannot do it without her. Danielle was also another one. I just used her recently, a black singer who was, we were together in Tina. She was a dancer in Tina. And then she just backed me on stage. And I think it was one of the recent videos at Cotton Club.
Oh, okay.
And I thought she was fantastic because I wanted to introduce the band. And I was like, fabulous musicians. And then she just started ad-libbing behind. And it added everything. And I'm grateful for that because it's not just me on stage and not just me and the musicians. It's all the other things that are working together. So, yeah.
Yes, you said something about you starting a group, something. It's something that is online, it's open.
It's open. I've got like 9 singers for now. And we came together because we were supposed to do a performance somewhere and it got canceled. So I said, let's keep the group.
Okay.
Yeah. Because everybody I picked, they're great singers who can be even greater.
What do you look at before picking a person to join you?
Can they sing? First of all, some people don't realize they actually can't sing. Yeah, unfortunately, we've had those moments.
Well, maybe I have to come for you to see if I can sing.
Hey.
It looks like I'm interested.
Hey. And then the next thing is, are they okay on stage?
On stage, yeah.
That they're not hiding, because that doesn't work either. And do they love music? And can they work with other people? Most important.
Oh, okay.
Can they work with other people?
Okay.
And then
we've been having conversation, which is nice, but we cannot have a jazz singer in the house, and all we do is just have a conversation. Maybe you want to throw us something. I like music from the Motown. I don't know whether
you like music from Motown,
but from the Temptations, anything.
Really?
From
like
that,
what song?
I don't know which one.
I got sunshine.
That's a nice one.
On a cloudy day, boom, 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 boom. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May, which it is right now. Are you ready? You ready? I guess you'd say what can make me feel this way. My guy, your girl. Hey!
That's nice. That's a nice one.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So then let me ask you, what is it like for you performing in front of a lot of white audiences? Because I believe sometimes, I mean, you put a smile on most of these people's faces. I believe not everybody or not all of them is happy seeing you on stage. How do you feel sometimes performing to an audience when you know that?
I've never really had an experience where they didn't like it, but I've had a different experience where they're just staring at me like, what? How are they doing this?
How she got his voice like?
Yes, yes, a little bit of resentment, a little bit, you know, with some like, well, and then if I go off for a break, well, when did you start singing? And how did you get this? What lesson do you have? And I'm like, none. I've never actually had a singing lesson. It's just there.
Is it more like people hit what they feel like they don't possess or they don't?
Yeah, and it's really sad. Like you can see they're just.
Okay.
But not hate, but more resentment. The majority, and then it's the opposite, where people's like, oh, it's a black person singing. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm like, well, you don't know that. I went to a party one time, and the host of the party introduced me. Hey, this is Addie. She's a singer. And the girl said, I know. So I said, oh, did you go to my country? She goes, no, I know you can sing because all Black people can sing because you got big noses. Wow.
She didn't say that to your face.
I said, wow, you let that come out your mouth? All, because it's true. All Black people have big noses so they can sing. And I was like, where's the correlation? Do you understand we don't sing out of our noses? And do you understand that there are white people with tiny noses that are incredible? Eva Cassidy is an amazing singer. Barbara Streisand. What are you talking about? No, it's true. You've got, and I said, are you saying that I have a big nose? Because I think I'm kind of cute.
But maybe you can't blame her too. I'm sure it must be something she heard from someone that
she heard it from her music teacher, which is disturbing.
Yeah.
Disturbing. What are you talking about? This is not true. You sing because you sing. And it's what you're influenced by. I mean, come on. And some of the things that people say. So, look, I just got to do what I got to do. Back to that thing again. Keep going. There's always somebody who's like, now you can sing. You have the skin. And I'm like, why so resentful? Why? It's not necessary.
Speaking of the skin, I think I came across a song where you were trying to send a message through. I think it was on... I don't know what you did in the studio. It was all Black and you were singing something about skin and something like that.
Me?
Yes.
Could be.
Yeah, you have a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there anything in particular that you feel like you want to pass on to, or you want to say to every Black person who finds themselves here in the Western world, in the diaspora, Hamburg, and are into music, and they are kind of giving up because they feel like they are not finding themselves where they need to be or how far they need to go with the music?
Find the strength inside first. That's the first thing. Like I said, I didn't realize I was worthy. I didn't realize I was enough as I am. And it was a slow road because of that. A slow road.
Okay.
Once I realized, no, I deserve to be up on that stage. And I deserve to be able to deliver this message I have, or this music I have inside of me, regardless of what you think. That's what they must do. And walk away from places where they do not appreciate you.
Okay.
Especially if it's prohibiting you from doing what you want to do. Of course, there's always going to be somebody. I can tell you another quick story. In Berlin, the place where, you would think doesn't have a race issue.
Okay.
I was there doing a show. I was backstage waiting for my band to do the first number. I was dressed up pretty good, I think. And a guy came out of the bathroom and handed me 50 cents.
Thought that she needed the money.
And I said, no, thank you. And he goes, okay, well, your fault. And threw it on the table. And I was like, okay. He walked out and I followed. But he went into the audience. I walked up on stage and said, can you put the house lights up? Which I did. And I said, see that guy back there? He thinks I'm here to clean the toilets.
So later in the auditorium, like in the... Wow.
He thought I was there to clean the toilets. Can you imagine? I said, first of all, the poster had my face on it. Okay. Second of all, something happened that never happens. I was wearing the same dress that I had worn the day for the poster. It was just a fluke. Okay. So, you didn't know what concert you paid to come to see? Because I talked to him after, because he stayed. He stayed. And he said, oh, sorry. No, I didn't even look at you. And I was like, ow. You didn't even look at me? You just knew it was a woman singing?
No, it's interesting, but I think sometimes in concerts like the place that they should have a different toilet place, for celebrities or whoever is on stage, because if you guys never use the same
they should,
washroom,
but this particular venue didn't. And no, but it's not the only time. I've also been at a venue. I was asked to sing, and I went for my sound check early. Okay. Yeah, I had a band. 4 white guys, and we were there for the sound check. They let everybody in the band go. When I came, he went, you can't come in here. We're having a show here today.
Wow.
And I said, oh, so you don't want your singer? And he was shocked.
So it's interesting. You were somebody that you worked with the record label before.
Yeah.
And now I can believe you're working on your own. Working with the record label and going solo, which one do you think is best? Because I feel like if you had whole team? I don't know, because you're doing a lot. Most of these things could be avoided with security and all that.
If I had a manager, I need a manager. I need a manager really quickly.
So with your experience and everything, you still think you need a manager?
100%, because I've been maintaining it all this time. But, I can't always deal with, the venue, or sometimes I can't deal with the musicians. They don't want to have the respect that is needed. And I have to constantly prove, no, I'm in charge here. Not that it's necessary for everybody to know that, but just in case you forget, it's me. But if I had a manager, I wouldn't have to deal with that. And I can focus on doing my music and putting out my new songs and not having to discipline people or to let people know, no, I'm meant to be here. You hired me.
I mean, it's good we are saying all this because we have a lot of youngs that are coming up right now, and they feel like they don't see the need or essence to have someone managing them. But with you being long in this business and saying that, I mean,
it's 100% necessary.
There are things they can pick from this,
Yeah, you gotta go and talk to the venue. Can I have my money? And I found myself begging, please, may I have my money? Hey, listen, I don't want to do all of that. I don't want to do that. Or having to prove myself. Maybe it's a woman thing, being a woman. And in this industry, they have to deal with 90% men. 99 probably. It's, a very small percentage of women who I'm having to deal with. And, there's the opposite problem of being a Black woman is that you guys can all sing. Oh yeah, you can sing. So you don't get the respect.
I know what you mean.
Oh, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that in your sleep. It's like, no, I've just put on a brilliant show for you, regardless of my color. Can we just have some respect for that? And I've made your company a lot of money. Can I have a proper pay, please, as well? Another thing.
You have to negotiate on your pay.
Oh my God, yeah.
I thought normally these are things you talk about before you even go on stage and everything.
Oh yeah, you can talk about it before you go on stage, but then things can change at the end of the night.
And then I also want to believe that for most of the people you are dealing with, these are people on the professional level.
Well, yes, of course. The clubs I'm playing with are good, but it's been a long haul. There have been times where I played at a club, years ago, and there was a standard pay, but at the end of the night, oh, sorry, we didn't make as much money out of here. 35 euros should be enough for you, and the money's thrown at me.
Are you saying you get 35 euro for performing a whole session, like an hour or 2 hours?
2 hours. It's usually 2.5 hours.
For 35 euros?
Yeah, and he threw it at me. Not even like, here, that should be enough for you. And, and I had to leave that place. I won't perform there anymore. Or I've had, someone who hired me and, oh, well, we didn't make as money as we thought. So, yeah, my bad. You can't get paid. It's a whole bunch of craziness that I've had to deal with. No, I don't have to deal with that much now. No.
That was to be in the days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not so far back. No.
I think when people see people do these kind of things on stage, singing clubs and pubs, it looks nice. I want to just find out from you. For a young person watch out there, do you think this is something who wants to go in this direction? Do you think this is something actually someone can make a living from, build a career like singing in clubs, pubs like you do?
They gotta be really good performers. I do make my living out of this. This is what I do. That's what I mentioned earlier. It's not just going up and being a great singer. There's a fantastic singer. She is, and but she's not a performer. If you're not going to entertain the audience, and I don't mean entertain like being silly. That's another thing. People see Black performers and here comes the monkey and the clown. No. It's not that. But you got to be able to entertain them. Then they'll want you back. It doesn't matter if you go up there and you do the best version of My Funny Valentine. It doesn't matter if you sing the best Beyonce song they've ever heard. But if you're turned to your keyboardist or whatever, you're singing the song to him, they're not getting entertained. You will not be called back.
Okay.
So you have to be able to be returnable. You need to go up there and sing, sure. And they're like, oh my God, the crowd loves you. Can you come back again? And that's how you do it.
So it's not just about the singing.
No. Oh my God, no.
Perform and connect to the audience.
You need to perform. You need to connect. You need to provide a service. When you're just singing, they could, and you're not even connecting with them. They could, okay, we can turn on the radio. We can turn on the radio. You want them to go, wow, we couldn't get that from a radio. Wow, we couldn't get that from Spotify. That's why performers all over the world make most of their money. Beyonce, number one. Yeah, you can hear her track, but you're going to go and sit and watch the show. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be drawn in. And so you got to start there. It doesn't matter how old you are. Get up on stage and provide entertainment. Or what's the point of you coming? You can turn on the radio.
Well, you've said a lot on this platform, and like I said, anybody who wants to get into this section or this field,
sure,
has a lot to pick from what you've said. And when it comes with you, I mean, you are doing great things already. We can never come to an end. Now, before we leave, I just want you to do one more song for us. And if there's something else you feel like you want to say, you want to talk about, let's hear it. So maybe you give us a song first, and then
You want me to give you a song? What I usually say to people is I do get paid to sing. I'm joking. You know how many people are like, can you sing? Can you just sing? And I'm like, oh my goodness.
All right.
I'm working on this new song called Misunderstood.
Oh, okay.
And I'll sing a little snippet from that if you like.
Sure. That'll be nice.
Acapella. My life is full of moments wishing you would understand me. I'm misunderstood. Minutes, hours, days to go like this. It's a revelation to be so misunderstood. I don't like the way it feels, knowing the truth all by myself. I know I'm real, drowning in pain and doubt, and so misunderstood. Don't stop me now, I'm going on a roll. I'm rising, keeping up with everything I'm told. From within, I can't stop now, and my feet won't touch the ground. I'm misunderstood. This is my plea to be understood for who I am. This life is rough. I'm begging and begging and begging my life I find can be dark and murky. Please take me as I am. Hey.
Wow, I only get this on LapoteeTV, like I say. It's interesting. That's why I said what I like about people who sing the kind of music you sing. The music sounds good and it comes with the message. Unlike what we have right now, it's all about just putting some one or two words that connects on the beat. Listening to music and having some message for it and it sounding good is the best.
Being understood, for who I am.
Yes. Is there one more thing you want to say, Adi?
Keep going. Don't let society tell you who you are. Do not let society tell you who you are.
Okay, that's great. The message is loud and clear. Adi,
super.
It's nice.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed being on LapoteeTV.
Guys, there's not much to be said. Adi is not someone that is hard to find. Just go on Instagram and put the name Adi Wolf. It's Wolf. I pronounce it right? Yes. Okay, maybe Germans will say Wolf or whatever.
They do, but my real name is actually Janea.
Janea,
But whenever Germans see G, they go G. I'm like, please, just call me Adi.
Let's keep it to Adi, okay.
Adi Wolf.
So like I said, in case you want to see Adi perform, I mean, sometimes you don't even if you're someone you love the nightlife and you're always on the Reeperbahns, on the pubs and clubs, you would then come by Adi singing, and trust me, you will love her singing. So like I said,
thank you so much for that.
It was nice.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.